Welcome, everybody. This is Eldritch
Buddies!
Buddies!
What up?
an actual play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition podcast. Sitting at the virtual table with me today is Scott.
Playing Cambrio Voss, sneaky, stealthy, and possibly homeless.
Alongside Wills.
Hey, I'm Wills. I play Zed Joran, the Is He Human sorcerer. Stay tuned to find out. He's also a rogue.
Speedy.
I am playing C.H.O.D.E, the bot, the myth, the legend, the fighter bard, warforged.
And finally, Josh.
I'm Josh, and I'm playing Jinxie, the Loxodon Moon Druid. And Jinxie's favorite food is actually alfalfa sprouts, but he's never had them before.
He just doesn't know it.
And I.
Good to know.
And I'm your dashing DM, Connor. The year is 12 AE. On the massive island of Khumdor. The vast continent is home to magic, heroes, evildoers, and many other tropes that exist in high fantasy. The country of Khumdor is divided into 4 provinces. The dwarves and King Thane Stormboot manage the entirety of the country, but they do so from the northern province of Khumdor. That won't be confusing at all. To the east is the newest controlled province within Khumdor, the Beast Province of Deer. 12 years ago, a large civil war tore the country apart as Deer and their hybrid beast inhabitants fought to remain independent, but the Beast Nation saw the worst of it, and Deer is now ruled by the dwarves. To the west inhabits the most mysterious portion in all of Khumdor, the province of Weir Gazam, or the White Wastes. This uninhabitable province is home to odd magic. Beyond old wives' tales and legends, not much is known of the Wastes. However, our story begins to the south, where the lovely, lush, green, and coastal province of Titlebrook rests. The province, known for its predominantly halfling and human populace, is thought to be the most peaceful province, and the one with the best relationship with the ruling dwarves. It is evening. The sun is slowly pulling back behind the mountains, distant in the north. The cooing of the evening doves can be heard in the woods overhead. You find yourselves on the road just outside of the quaint town of Boton. One by one, you walk towards an estate off in the distance that's on a hill. And everybody, I think it's time that we introduce ourselves to the 4 adventurers that walk along the hill. Scott, if you would like to paint a picture of what somebody might see if they saw your character walking down the road.
All right, so walking down in a kind of slouched over, sort of quiet gait, in a bit of like a blackish, brownish leather black duster, kind of hanging open underneath is like a tight little vest getup, little bow tie. Human male, appears to be in his kind of late 20s, possibly early 30s, or might just be sort of hard-lived, if that makes sense. And then beyond that, you see kind of at his hip, there's a rapier handle or a hilt sticking out from under one side of the coat, and on his other hip is just the kind of handle of a hand crossbow. And then his most notable feature would be these sort of just past tips of his ears length, like really, really blonde, so blonde it's almost white hair, kind of. And that's just no hat, no nothing, striking white hair, and he's just walking down the road.
Okay, perfect. Josh, let's hear from your character that is walking kind of fairly close. We'll say that you guys are within kind of 100 feet or so of each other. You can see that you're kind of going to the same spot. So what might Scott's character see if he was to turn around to see you?
So, what he would see behind him would be this elephant humanoid, a loxodon, kind of big, burly, 7-8 feet tall kind of thing. Bunch of elephant hair on the chest. Really bristly, really rough, really good for flossing your teeth and your tusks. Always handy. No body armor. Again, no clothes on the top. And basically just kind of green, sort of like not pants, but like open chaps kind of thing. That's what he's wearing on his
Assless chaps.
Is your character wearing assless chaps?
yeah.
He's got a real
So so his
already.
tail can breathe and
Could
stuff.
just be pants
all
with a
that good
hole.
stuff.
It's gotta
No,
be
he
assless
does. He likes to
chaps.
be. Yeah, he's exposed. He likes to breathe.
So he looks like Ray Romano's character from Ice Age,
Wearing chapless pants.
wearing assless chaps.
Wearing nice little green half pants. On the left of his waist he's got a scimitar, and on his back he's got a shield, and he's just kind of slowly meandering down the road there.
Perfect. And just behind you is Speedy's character. Speedy, if you want to give us a rundown of the clunking feet that are behind this elephant person.
Yeah, so I thought I was going to be the biggest character, but clearly not. Standing in at about 6'8", just an absolute unit of a robot. We have C.H.O.D.E. It stands for Chromatic Humanoid Organic Destroying Entity. But as you look at him, he kind of glistens in the sunlight. He's mostly made out of chrome, hence the name. He's got these massive glowing blue eyes that are always kind of moving and looking to make sure that he knows what's going on. On top of his head, he has this massive, they almost look like train spikes that are like in his head that give him like a mohawk, like down the back of his head. His jaw is kind of screwed on, so it gives him a bit of an underbite. And then kind of think like Iron Giant style for his head. As you go down, you kind of again notice his body's mostly made of chrome. There's certain areas that are made of other metals where you've seen like he's been wounded in battle and been repaired with either like coppers or steels or whatever's kind of been lying about. And if you looked close enough, there'd be a bunch of engravings on his body, almost like tattoos. And they're all written in Dwarvish. And on his one hand, on the back, you can see a bunch of like markings, almost like a tally, like he's been keeping track of something. You also notice one of his forearms is bigger than the other, kind of like it's absorbed something. But the thing you would notice first off is he's got this massive horn that sits on his right shoulder, and it kind of winds down to his like left oblique. And in the middle is this enameled piece of glass, like 4x8 inch, and inside you can see some records. Where his nipples would be are two little like knobs. One looks like it's been used a little bit more than the other, but and then sheathed at his waist is a massive greatsword. And he's just
That's
trudging
dope.
along.
Yeah, okay. So the three of you, as you are trudging along, the three of you do notice each other as you are approaching the estate. So I don't know if you guys would talk to each other or if you guys would kind of keep your heads down and keep approaching the estate. But eventually you do get close enough to the estate gate that you're kind of all right outside of it. So I don't know if you guys...
I'm again very regular looking dude, and was just kind of going to my goal, and then I turned around at some point along the walk and just thought there was someone behind me. He was going to turn around and say, "Hey, big old elephant person." Was not expecting that, and then just behind that appeared to be some sort of spiky headed robot. which I've never seen a robot, so that's kind of, so I'm just sort of in shock / awe and just eyeing up the two very surprising figures.
Jinxie's just gonna look to his left, see like a normal human man, and just kind of nod, and then look to his right. And be like, what is that? I've never seen anything like that.
I know. I just
What are you?
I'm not even going to pay attention to them. I'm just going to be like, I don't have time for you people. And I'm just going to keep going right to the estate. Like, I don't even care.
Okay.
Like, I'm just going right to it. I'm just going to, like,
Perfect.
look at them and be like,
the fact that Josh is so confused about the robot, it just immediately made me very comfortable with the elephant person. Like, my initial shock's worn off because I'm also very confused. So I'm just kind of following, like I guess we'll go after him, but like, what the heck's that?
Yeah.
Do you have wheels or do you have legs?
I got legs.
That's offensive.
It's a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Meow.
Yeah. I'm not just
Okay,
like a puppet
I
thing.
need Speedy, would you say that your Warforged is now furthest along? Like you kind of kept your head down and kept walking?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
didn't even
was
pay
definitely
attention to
taking
them
it.
looking back. So I'm just
Yeah,
gone.
we're behind.
Yeah. What's your passive perception?
14.
14. Wills, would you have been attempting to be sneaky around here, or would you just want to pop out of the woods at this point?
I'll probably just stay idly by for now in the side.
Classic.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the three of you approach the large iron gates that are now blocking the road. And for some of you, it's been a very long journey to get to here. For others, it's been a little bit shorter, but certainly the three of you in front of the gates right now do look to be adventurers. You do look to have traveled, at least the province. Your clothes are a little bit tattered, and you can absolutely tell that you've done much walking and riding in the last couple of weeks and months. And it does dawn on you at this point, all of you, that the reason that you are here is because of a mysterious note that you each came across individually. And if you check your inventory, actually, folks, I have placed a mysterious note
What?
into your
My
inventory.
God. Hacked.
And
I feel so
You could do
fine.
That is
yeah,
impressive.
Did you give me this little bag of sand?
you put that sand back. You put that sand back, Cambrio. Adventurer, the ability to read this note is enough simply to determine that you are extraordinary. If you ever find yourself without purpose, meaning, or a home, consider visiting the Erasmus Estate in Botan. A soft bed, warm meals, and a genuine purpose await you if you are so bold. Signed, J.H.E. the Fourth. Now, the strangest part about this note, adventurers, is that when you aren't holding it physically in your hands, it simply reads as a scrap piece of paper with, sometimes it's a small grocery list on it. Other times it just looks like it's a little doodle. It's just very weird. And none of you actually remember picking this up. It was just on you one day. So kind of keep that as it is.
Okay.
Do you guys want to do anything before we continue?
Can I do a Arcana check on the note?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll
Okay.
me an Arcana check, my friend.
That is a 10.
A 10? Simple deduction, Josh, means that when this note isn't in your possession, it changes. Like you can physically see the lettering of that note that I read into the grocery list or the doodle or whatever it is at that point. So you definitely know that there is an enchantment, but with a 10, you're not entirely sure what the properties or what the length of that enchantment is, if that makes sense.
Okay. One question: how would we know that the note shows something else when it's not in our hands, like when we're not looking at it?
Well, that's a good question. I feel like for semantic purposes, like when you're reading the note and you put it down, it's kind of like, oh, wait, what just happened to that piece of paper? I just feel like at some point in the last couple of weeks, you would have noticed that little trait about it.
Okay.
So do you have it out? Are you looking at it, Josh?
Yeah, I'm kind of examining it just now that I've arrived here.
So, you got a magic note as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but just wandering and following and came across this place.
Yeah, I was hanging out in the streets of Titlebrook when I don't even remember finding this thing anymore. I've had it on me for a while, but eventually was able to just make my way down here, and yeah. I look over, I guess, Bert, did you just keep off? Like, you just took? I was going to ask you if you had a note as well, but you're just gone.
Yeah, I'm just heading straight for the estate. Like, I didn't stop to make pleasantries. Just gone.
Should we follow that thing?
Yeah, like, what other choice do we have? The note says to be here.
I mean, I have no purpose, so yeah, I'm a perfect candidate. All right, so I'm gonna head on in after the robot.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Good.
I'm going to exit the tree line. I'll probably just walk in behind them.
Sure. Do you want to do so sneakily? Do you want to do so without being
I'll
seen?
be keeping
or just
a distance, but not like aggressively sneaking. Keeping a distance so as maybe not to be noticed, but not putting too much effort into not being noticed.
Okay, call it. Roll me a stealth check just so I can see if anybody knows that you reached the tree line.
That would be a 24.
I assume nobody's passive perception.
I'm looking at the
breaches
robot.
that. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
yeah. The
Yeah.
decoy.
I'm not paying attention to anything but where I'm going.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so as you approach this estate, you can kind of see the vast size of everything. It is evening time and the sun is setting, but that still means that there's enough light to kind of see the acreage of forestry, woods, beautiful kind of hills of of flowers and other like spring natural beauty. And the gates actually, as you are right there, swing open, and as you enter the gates, you see a short, plump, smiling human man in seemingly like his late 40s, maybe early 50s. He is wearing a black and burgundy robe, complete with a Victorian-era neck ruff. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It looks like the coffee filter kind of neck ruffle thing. As you enter the gates, his hands start happily clapping together. Hello! Hello! You've made it! And you've all arrived at conveniently the same time! How thoughtful of you all! Oh my goodness! And don't we have some characters in this troupe? Please follow me into the courtyard. And like as he's saying characters, he specifically looks at the Warforged and the huge woolly mammoth among you.
I just
At
feel ignored.
this point, I'm gonna like turn around and see that the other people are there, and be like, "Oh, was you guys? All right, okay."
What was us guys? Yeah, give him a little thumbs up.
I'm gonna look down at him and be like, "It's more talking to the big hairy elephant."
Yeah,
but
we're all characters here. We're all unique. Kind of shake my head a little bit so my hair sort of shimmers.
Whatever you say, Goldilocks.
It's it. All right.
And you see this man kind of look at the back. And you there, back there, why are you hiding? Come on over. And he's obviously gesturing at you, Wills.
Yes. So, for those of you that turn around, you would
turn
see a rather slight human-looking male wearing a dark robe covering with a hood on top down right to his ankles. It's a nice looking robe when it was maybe made or purchased, but that looks to be some time ago. Almost like a dark charcoal color, purple trim on the robe, carrying a dark black walking stick or staff. Doesn't look old enough that it's keeping him up. He's rather young, early 30s, late 20s. Approaching the rest of the group.
Perfect. Okay, so the four of you have been beckoned in by this individual. Do you follow him?
Yes.
I just want to say before we do that, when Ty was introducing himself, my body didn't turn, but my head just went to like turn around to like
I
look
stopped.
at him.
I heard the
and
word,
then-
and I'm looking back at the robot. This is just cooler than anything else I've seen. It's just every time I look at it, it's a surprise.
Yeah,
I give him a little
absolutely.
wink as we, and then we all walk in after him.
It's like, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so he leads you through the main gates into the estate itself. And like I said, this is a large home with acres of wood and natural brush surrounding it. The smell of like thousands of flowers dances in the air. It's sweet, summery. As you look at the home itself, it is massive. Picture, for any of our older listeners out there, picture the mansion from 1995's Casper. If you can kind of put an eye on that. Less dirty, but like certainly impressive in size.
Same amount of ghosts.
In the courtyard itself, it's certainly evident that this is like a busy area during the daytime. It looks like there's like a bunch of different cart tracks, kind of barrels that are, some are up, some are down, like definitely askew. Boxes also strewn across the courtyard. A table near the stable has 5 chairs, and it looks like a bottle of wine
Stable
or
table.
booze or something on the table. And the man who greeted you suggests with one hand motion to join him at that seating area in the courtyard.
Oh. I've always loved a table by the stable.
I do love a stable table.
You definitely smell like it over there.
It's okay. So it smells like the streets of Tavir. It's all good. I'm gonna head over, but I'm gonna spin a chair around backwards and sit on it that way.
Like a cool guidance
Yeah.
counselor.
I'm ready to rap.
Sweet.
I'll go to sit down, but I realize that the chair is probably not sturdy enough for me, so I'll be like, actually, I'll stand. But
Well, funny enough, give me a what would it be? Give me a strength check to see how sturdy this table and chairs are.
You don't have character sheets for the table?
18.
Yeah. So Speedy, not only will this hold you, this is a stable table by the stable.
Stable table.
Damn.
So it's gonna hold. Don't you worry. The
All
chair
right.
is just as strong.
Give it a little wiggle, and I
I'll
go,
sit
wow,
down.
this is a stable table.
It's a stable table.
I'll sit down and
Is
grab
there-
this
I
bottle of
immediately take a
booze.
seat.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Oh, you just grab the bottle of booze.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it
I
and
love
start
that.
drinking it.
How are they?
Sure,
How are they
eyes you up and
contained? Is it corked? Is it screw top?
Yeah, we'll say that it's corked. He's got like 5 like tumbler glasses on the table, and Speedy, as you, or C.H.O.D.E, I should say, as you begin pouring this brown liquid into the glass, do you actually? Here's a good question. As a Warforged, do you have a nose or the ability to smell?
I don't know.
Okay, well then, it looks like whiskey, but you're not really sure.
I'm gonna drink it.
Perfect. And as you drink it, the man with the ruffled neck looks at you and says, "Fascinating. Do you have taste buds? Like, what is there a purpose for this drink, or is it purely a pleasantry that you join in sustenance here?"
That's a need to know basis for you. And by need to know, it's only me.
Fascinating. Yeah, so he if you take a look, like he's genuinely like eyeing kind of each and every one of you individually up and down, but like at this point, this Warforged like absolutely fascinating. Wow. Yes, well, thank you all for joining me. I assume here that you know who I am, and he kind of does like this gesture for all of you to say it out loud.
John Henry Elevator the Fourth. Pleasure to meet you.
I don't know who the fuck you are, but your paper said to come here.
I just
It said I could read, so I showed up.
The funniest part about this is, Scott, you got 75% of his name
The
correct.
fourth.
That's awesome.
So he introduces himself, and he looks at you, Cambrio, and he says, "Yeah, well, that's close enough. Yes, John Henry Erasmus the Fourth. Yes, but if it's easier for you all, you can call me Mr. Erasmus or simply John."
Okay, simple
And,
John.
That's not what I meant. That's no.
I
That's
thought it
not
was
what
just
I
like a
meant.
casual thing.
Simply
John.
you may
Okay.
refer to me John as John.
It's
No,
like
no.
simply
Simply
Jane, simply
John.
John.
That's not-
Sounds like a
It's
good.
not
It
exactly
sounds like
what
a
I was
book I would
going
read.
for, but yes. Well, sure. Yes, that's lovely. And I am sure that there's lots of questions about the mysterious note that you all received. Let me first say this: I know that each of you are adventurers. Each of you must be strong enough to be granted past the enchantment of the note that you all carry. And if you also search for purpose, and his eyebrows raise, or at the very least are looking to kill some time and have a story to tell your kids one day, then I ask that you join me inside after we drink. However, know this: once we enter that doorway, there can be no backing out. Once you enter my home, you enter into a contract which stipulations are as follows: I house you, feed you, and will give you money and purpose. And in return, I ask that you help me with a few chores here and there. Know that I am an eccentric man, and that I appreciate eccentricities. And he looks kind of locks eyes with the woolly mammoth during that sentence. I cannot exactly tell you more than that because he looks at C.H.O.D.E. It's on a need-to-know basis. So I ask you this: will you agree to enter my home under these circumstances and rules?
I know what's
Absolutely.
need to know is, are we getting paid? That's what I needs to know.
Well, here's the thing. Certainly yes. However, it'll be less like a salary and more like
We're on commission.
Commission. Yeah, absolutely. You've heard
Classic.
of this term. Lovely. Yeah, it's going to be the more chores that you help me with, and the more difficult the chores are, you certainly will have some pocket money to rattle around and go shake up the old tree, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't
I
know what
don't
you're
like
saying.
shaking trees.
Well, rest assured that once you enter this home, I will. I'll be able to give you a wonderful couple of weeks, months, years, who knows? But yes, money will certainly be involved.
All right, I'm in. I'll start walking
You-
towards this.
You
Lovely.
said we get a bet?
I will bet you. Not like prima nocta. I will give you a bed to rest in. I will give you food and general fun times and purpose.
So prima
If
nocta.
that's something that you like.
Okay.
Isn't his name John Henry Erection?
Elevator, man.
I
He just
tread
told us
lightly in
this.
those bedrooms.
All right. Yeah, so hearing that I'm getting a bed, I'm gonna head up and join in because that's all I needed. But I am gonna try to steal a glass.
Okay, perfect.
Fuck
So with that, do C.H.O.D.E. and Cambrio get up and start moving towards the home?
Has John gotten up to sort of indicate that?
No, so that's why I was. Yeah, he was gonna tut you guys if that was the case.
I was promised a bed. I thought
Yeah, well, no, it's.
I got excited. I'm sorry. Okay.
So it appears that we're all in, and he kind of makes eye contact with Jinxie because he's the only one that he hasn't really heard from yet.
Jinxie is in, yes.
Okay, well, that's lovely to hear. Great news. Welcome to the Erasmus estate. And, there's one more thing. And he's kind of rubbing his hands together and stuff. And he says, well, I hate to use the term examination, but technically, you do have to pass a little bit of an entrance exam to enter the home. So I hope you're all okay with that. And with that, he kind of raises a glass to toast and throws his drink down his throat and kind of gestures for you guys to do the same. as a way to kick off the night's festivities.
Aha.
Uh,
Jinxie snorkels.
Just gonna
up
have to do
with
some sleight of hand here because we're staying sharp. This is going right over the shoulder, and then I'm
Okay,
pocketing the
perfect.
glass.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand, and I'm going to pull up Mr. Erasmus's passive perception to see if he notices anything.
Z2 will be paying
16.
a lot of attention to everyone at the table.
Sure. So 16 is high enough where John doesn't see it, but Wills, I don't know what your passive perception
I'm
is.
not going to see that either.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
I'm
So yeah.
16.
Oh, you are? Okay, Jinxie, if you
yeah.
care at all, you definitely saw Cambrio do the
Interesting.
over-the-shoulder shot. Everybody drank. Roll Constitution saving throw. You're all dead now. I'm just
Not
kidding.
this
That
guy.
would be brutal. No, just kidding. Yeah, so with that drink, it certainly was like a hot alcoholic brew of something, but there was like a very nice aftertaste of like a sunflower, almost like very nice. Like, oh, that's okay. That's quite nice. And so with that, he says, "Well, considering the entrance exam shouldn't take any more than I don't know, a few minutes or so. Why don't we begin?" And he clapped his hands. And with that, two large statues that were on top of the rooftop of this estate come to life, drop down a la Harry Potter, and two gargoyles now stand in the courtyard, and they look menacing and ready to attack. My Eldritch buddies, for the first time, I need you to roll me some initiative.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I thought reading was the test.
I assumed it was.
Thank
a
God
regular
for you, it's
joint.
not.
You guys can join
Guy's sort of a
BTT if
dick,
you
isn't
want.
he?
All right.
The note was a
I'm gonna
lie.
join VTT, but I want to keep that roll because it's a 23.
It's in here already.
Sick.
Mhm.
So, Cambrio, you rolled a 23.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Jinxie got a 19.
Okay, after that.
That would be me.
C.H.O.D.E.
With a...
13.
And then Zed.
10.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Scott, can you see the tabletop
I
now?
can just see Wilson's guy still.
Do you want to leave and
Yeah,
rejoin?
I'm gonna refresh it. Well, if I'm going first, anyways, I'm just gonna quickly look around to see if there's anything I can hide behind, or if not, like kick up the table, kind of.
Yeah, you can see that there's like a water fountain.
Okay. Is it within
Yeah.
30 feet of me? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go use my move to get behind that water fountain, and I'm gonna take a bonus action to hide.
Sure.
Okay. And then I'm gonna. So the gargoyles are just clearly violent, right? Like this is obviously the test is fight these things.
This is obviously your
Yeah.
test.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out the first hand crossbow, and I'm hidden now, so it'll be a little sneak attack action, and I'm just gonna fire at whichever one's closer to me.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Nice.
I think it's a 19. 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20
Nice.
hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
That'll be 9, and then I'm gonna. I already used my. Oh, sneak attack is just a bonus action.
Bonus
Sneak
action.
attack is just another.
It's
nice.
Yeah, it just happens.
Sick. Additional 5. So 14 total.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of duck back down behind the fountain and start reloading and prepping.
Okay, perfect. So you see that as you shoot you said it was a crossbow.
Hand crossbow, yeah.
As you shoot your hand crossbow into the gargoyle's kind of shoulder, it definitely digs in, but it being a Terran rock creature, it's not doing as much damage as you might guess. So with that comes Jinxie's turn. Go ahead,
Damn
Jinxie. What do you want to do?
So Jinxie is gonna cast Fairy Fire on. I gotta make the cube. Sorry, thought it was a circle right here,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna. Yeah, get both of them. They're gonna light up in like purple.
Do you have to roll to hit, or do I have to roll to save?
Yeah, sorry, Dex save of 14.
Okay. Okay, first one fails. Second one...
Oh.
You said it was a 14?
Yeah, 14.
Okay, he got a 14, so it's only this... We'll call it the one that got hit by the arrow, or the bolt, is the one that's lit up right now.
Okay.
So it's on him. Anything else, Jinxie?
And then Jinxie is going to move 25 feet. I'll move right here.
Okay, perfect. That's your turn, Jinxie?
That's not. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay,
Yeah,
that brings
Jinxie's
us
done.
to the vicious gargoyles. So as they kind of slomped down, boom, boom, their heavy weight kind of crushing the cobblestone beneath them. The minute that one landed, he just gets absolutely blasted by a bolt and then lit up by fairy fire. And he's not with them, like he's having a great time. So he is going to use his flight to fly up and land right in front of you,
shit.
Jinxie. Kind of slam down. And it is going to use its multi-attack to do a claw attack and then a bite attack against you, Mr. Elephant Man.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Okay, so... And what's your AC, Josh?
It is 18.
18. Okay, so as he slams into the ground, he claws and he bites, but your tough mammoth fur and hide are enough to repel the damage. So you actually don't get hit from that first one.
Nice.
The second one is going to fly over and kind of do the same thing, but to C.H.O.D.E here, because he looks like a big menacing robot himself.
Bring it on,
He's
stone
going to
nuts.
take. He's going to take 2 of his attacks to try and rip you to shreds. So for the first one, let me know if that one hits. I just sent it to everybody.
You motherfucker. Yeah, that hits.
Feels like a
First natural 20 of the campaign. And then I'm just going to roll the second attack here. Okay, I assume a 7 doesn't hit. Okay, so let's roll that damage for the claw attack. Okay, with that crit, you take 6 slashing damage. Those really low rolls.
Thank God.
And that brings us actually to you, C.H.O.D.E.
Sweet. Okay, so this guy just hit me. So I am going to immediately hit him right back with my greatsword. This is my first attack. That would be a 21.
Oh,
That would be a hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
And okay. I'm gonna look over at the little human that hasn't done anything yet. I'm going to give him some bardic inspiration as my bonus attack, or as my bonus action. Sorry.
Very
I'm
nice.
gonna look
How
over
do
at
you
him.
specifically inspire him? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over and be like, "Hey, you better do something good. This guy just hit me. I don't take kindly to people who hit me. So you better come and do something if we're gonna work together."
Long Island robot.
Yeah.
Okay, and that actually brings us right to Zed. So Zed, if you want to respond with your action, go for it.
Wow, you'll get a kind of a big sigh from Zed. Like, all right. Rather quickly, he's going to dart himself into a flank on that opponent right in front of
guy
me.
here?
Yes.
Okay.
Pull out 2 daggers, and I am going to attack with the first dagger.
Perfect. With advantage because you have flank.
Absolutely. I already rolled on the VTT by accident, but that's okay. I'll complete it. I'm going to use my bardic inspiration on that first one.
Sure.
Is that a D6
Speedy?
I think it's a D4 at Speedy's bardic level right now.
It says 1d6.
I could be wrong, Speedy.
He's
Okay, yeah.
He's
yeah.
giving me the D. Wow, dirty DM tricks. First combat.
Don't look at the sheet. Trust me.
That's going to be a
Show me those
17
rolls.
to hit.
Nice.
17 absolutely hits.
Perfect. Damage on that sucker is going to be a whopping max 7 damage. I'm going to
That's
then swing around with my second dagger
Mm-hmm.
at, what do you know? Advantage. 11. Ooh. Probably not hitting with an 11.
Yeah, so the second dagger is not... you just don't have the purchase with it. You aren't able to find that fleshy gargoyle underneath that stone exterior. But the first one certainly hits, although both you and C.H.O.D.E notice at this time that it's just not cutting like it does a normal man that bleeds. It's just not doing as much damage as you may think.
Luckily, my sneak attack is going to do a little bit extra.
Hello.
2 more damage.
Okay, perfect. That is noted.
Awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, back to the top. We've got Cambrio.
Alrighty. So, quick little situation assessment. Jinxie, I have chatted with a couple times. I'm very just impressed by the robot. So I'm still kind of like, I'd say, the robot looks like it can handle itself, and the little dude just back there, they seem fine. So I'm gonna make split decision. I'm gonna kind of just drop the hand crossbow to the ground. I've got another one stashed under my coat for later, anyways. I'm just gonna book it if you'll let me kind of through the fountain. I assume it's just like a regular garden fountain or whatever. Get into the flank on that guy as well, even though I don't really think I need to because he has advantage from the fairy fire.
Yeah.
And then what Jinxie sees as I rear up behind him is I just kind of raise one hand up in the air like this, open, and then like a ghostly green blade appears in it, and I'm just going to slam that down into the back of his shoulders.
Amazing. Let's hit a roll here at advantage.
17, going to hunt for that 20. 16, so 17.
Perfect. Yeah, a 17 hits.
Boom. So this is 1d6 plus 4 psychic damage. That's 8. And then I'm going to sneak attack.
Yeah.
So that'd be 2d6. If that would roll, that would be cool. There we go. So an additional 6 damage. And then as a bonus action, you see this kind of cool little flurry with the one dagger. In my second open hand, as a bonus action, I'm going to summon another psychic knife. And this is just going kind of like, so he like, first one hits, he kind of imagines sort of like arches his back. And the second one's just coming right into the kidneys. So we just find my little to hit. So that's another 6. Is this one also at advantage?
Yeah, technically it would be.
This first one was a 14.
Unless it's a disadvantage for your second attack with these.
So 14.
A 14 misses, unfortunately. So the first one, in your, we'll call it your right hand, if that's your predominant hand, you carve into his back as if you were Brutus, and you get him right in the shoulder blade, and he reaches back. Ah! This is the first kind of pain-dealing blow that you've dealt him, and it certainly seems like it did more than your bolt did. The second one, though, maybe you're just too focused on the excitement of doing so much damage that it completely whiffs.
Okay. And then
that brings us back.
As you guys noticed, though, these don't appear to leave cuts. It's like as I let go, the knives sort of disappear, and like there doesn't appear to actually be wounds in the body.
Cool.
Something to note. Okay, that brings us back to Mr. Jinxie himself.
So Jinxie just saw a bunch of green blades flying around. She's like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool, my friend. Now watch this." And then Jinxie's gonna like kind of grovel and growl, and then you'll see him turn into a brown bear, and then just go. I never remember. I can't talk in wild shape.
You cannot talk in wild shape.
Okay, then you just hear a brown bear fucking growl.
That happened really close to my second attack, which is why I missed.
Yeah, it
The
spooked you a
elephant
little.
became a bear. I'm more confused than anything.
The bear-looking elephant just turned into a
Yeah.
more bear-looking
Looks less
bear.
elephant, more bear.
Yeah, still has one tusk.
Wait. Canonically, do you only have one tusk?
Yes.
I have so many
So
questions.
the tusk the
I'll have to
tusk
tell the artist that.
the tusk stays with the wild shape.
Okay, cool. So you're always tusk no matter what you do. That's amazing.
It's a snake with a tusk.
Yeah, that's
essentially-
excellent.
It's the one deformity that just can't shapeshift.
The one deformity.
Comes
You're
comes
an
back
elephant
to
man.
an elephant every time.
I've seen the play The Elephant Man. We all know what happens.
Oh my God.
No
So-
spoilers. No spoilers.
I haven't seen that. So the brown bear's gonna make a multi-attack, one with the bite and one with its claws.
Mm-hmm.
So D20 plus. I hate this part that's not on my sheet, but so plus 6. So the attack is a 19
A 19 hits. Yeah, absolutely.
with the bite.
So that's 1d8 plus 4.
Yes. Oh, did you pull it up?
I have
Sorry.
it here, yeah.
So 12.
12
And-
slashing damage.
Uh,
Or 12 piercing damage.
12 piercing, and then the claws plus 6 on the d20. 17.
Shred him.
17 also hits. Yeah, go ahead.
2d6 plus 4, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a lot of damage.
Moon druids, man.
6.
6 damage.
Oh,
So 3
Ooh,
damage.
ones. Damn.
Okay, yeah, so you take your bonus action, turn into a monstrous elephant kind of looking bear from your bear looking elephant phase, and you take a swift bite into this gargoyle's neck, and then you do a swipe across his chest, but it's like you kind of didn't gauge the depth perception right, because you only got, a little bit of damage.
Just
with
a little,
with that
little
claw.
smack.
Exactly. Neither of these seemingly did as much as that psychic knife did, but you, my friend, are a big scary bear in front of this gargoyle. So yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you're wanting to do, Jinxie?
No,
oh,
not
actually, you know
what?
what? Sorry. Would you like to roll 2 more times and hunt for a 20? Because technically this is
Oh
at
my-
advantage.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for kissing my keister there.
Little piece of
Uh,
kiss.
Everybody.
Well, you do have. There's nothing covering your keister, so it
Sorry,
makes
You are assless.
That's true. Yeah, you are assless.
Okay, 2 fucking 18s.
Yeah, pretty good. Both would have hit. So
Oh.
there you go.
Wow. Now revert back in future time.
Yeah, that's right. Is that all for you?
That's it. Yeah, I'm done. The
Okay,
bear is
so
just
now
staying
it is
planted.
back to the gargoyles. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to have this one in between C.H.O.D.E and Zed use its movement to actually fly out of there and land behind Jinxie. So if each of you would like to take a attack of opportunity with advantage, Zed and C.H.O.D.E, as it leaves your area.
Absolutely.
Unless you want to hold your action for something else.
No, I'll let Cho take the lead here.
This is like a reaction, right?
Yep, this is using your reaction.
Okay. So on my turn, I can still attack, right? That's
Yes, sir.
okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll take a. Do I just roll damage for this, or do I?
You still have to try and hit him. Yeah, you still have to try and hit him.
Wicked. All right. So I'll go for another slash.
There you
Probably
go.
not 7.
You have advantage though.
But you get advantage because he was
Oh.
flanked as he left. So
Thank Jesus.
that natural one doesn't
That'll
count.
work. 21.
Oh yeah.
That hits. Zed, do you want to do the same thing before I
Yes,
take damage off?
I am going to do that. Oh, with advantage, thank goodness. Oh, that's gonna be just a 12. So I will not hit.
Okay, so as this gargoyle flies up to assist its other gargoyle brother, C.H.O.D.E, you absolutely carve into the front of the gargoyle's face if you want to roll damage on your hit. As Zed, your dagger kind of clanks off its rocking back.
13.
13.
Yeah.
Perfect. So again, not as much as it seems, but still pretty good. Perfect. So as that gargoyle uses its movement to leave your square, it lands behind this big, burly bear in Jinxie, and it uses both of its attacks as well. So it is going to roll here. First, the bite.
Oh, it's got advantage. Too.
At advantage
Boy.
because... Yeah.
I'm being flanked.
Josh, is a 16 hit?
Yes.
Does? Oh, yeah, because you're bear. You're
Yeah.
bear now.
I'm bear man.
Okay.
Bear man.
And I'll do the other hit first to see if I go. Yeah, that other one will also hit a 21. So let's see here. Yeah, you take 12 slashing/piercing damage. Which I think you're still up as the bear, right?
Yeah, I'm still 22 health. I get 34.
Nice.
Perfect. The other one, as it's kind of flailing in between this bear and this psychic knife, assassin behind him, turns actually to you, Cambrio, because you did a
Gimme.
whack load of damage last time, and he's going to take a swipe and a bite and a claw at you as
Go
well.
for it.
Not at advantage though, because you are not flanked. Yeah, an 18 for both of them.
Both hit.
Scotty, what's your AC? Yeah. It's weird when you roll 2 dice and it's the same number on a d20. I always find that weird. Okay. You are taking 10 slashing/piercing damage between those 2 hits. So the gargoyle kind of turns and swipes across your face and then kind of pecks into your neck as you take some damage from this guy. That brings us, though, back to C.H.O.D.E.
Sweet. I am going to turn and look at the gargoyle that just flew away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, listen here, coward. You're going to come back here and you're going to fight like a real stone gargoyle. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just going to absolutely tear him a new one.
What's the save for that? Is it a charisma, wisdom?
Wisdom 12.
Wisdom 12. Wisdom is +0, so you, my friend, are in luck. He got a 6, so yeah, that succeeds.
Nice. So since he takes 1d4 psychic damage and he has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay, do you want to roll that damage for me and I'll mark it off?
4.
Oh,
4, yeah, because you absolutely
Yeah.
slayed him with that,
zinger.
with that barb.
Yeah.
And then he's got disadvantage, you said, on his next attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you know what? Sorry. Really quickly, Josh, I'm going to take away your fairy fire
Oh yeah, because I'm
because you're a bear man.
bear
now.
man bear pig.
Yeah, man, bear pig.
I will use my movement to move.
Can you
like,
not?
right up
Is it
to...
not concentration?
It
is.
you know what? It is. So let's just do this because you've also taken at least 2 hits. Roll me 2 Constitution saving throws, Josh,
Okay.
and try and hit over 10 both times. And then
Okay.
While he's doing this, Connor, I'm going to use my movement to move up behind the one I just yelled at.
Coming.
so we're just creating a human centipede
just
of
death.
Yeah.
One's a 17. The other
Okay,
is
saves.
a 15.
Perfecto. Yeah, it actually would have been more than that because it's a con save rather than
Straight roll.
unless you have a +0 to your con saves.
As a bear.
No, as a because it's you still
Oh.
retain your spellcasting like
Stats.
prowess
Okay.
like for your con.
I've got
I
a
think that's how
plus
that's
4.
how it is. Yeah, yeah.
+4 on con.
Okay, so yeah, this guy is still fairy fired. I won't put the square back, but you'll all remember.
Okay.
This guy on the left.
He's also
okay.
flanked,
C.H.O.D.E, is that?
So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was kind of a moot point. C.H.O.D.E, is that your turn?
Yes, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, back down to Zed.
All right. Zed is going to dart across again, keeping his distance. He's gonna pull out from behind his robe a light crossbow, and he's going to take a shot at the fairy fire double flanked flying gargoyle. And see how that
Triple
goes.
advantage.
That's gonna miss. Second one is a nat 20.
Ayo.
A lot better than
Which
the
one
two.
Are
The fairy fire.
you're firing the one.
Yeah,
that's
because I
fire
needed
fired?
the
Okay, yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, that's
for
fair.
that second
Hit
roll.
it up.
So that is going to be a 1d8 plus 3. That's an 8. So that would be
Ew.
16
Nice.
plus 3. 19 damage.
That's crazy.
Nine
And
damage.
I will
I was gonna say, yeah.
add in a little sneak attack for good measure.
Okay, let's see it. Roll that
5.
D6, baby.
Holy nice.
Just carving it up, eh? Yeah, so that was a great shot, a great bolt. As I'll say, like you headshotted it, like it went in its head, but as it doesn't have a brain, it didn't immediately cut off, life circulation. So it still stands, but it's certainly looking a little bit more cracked and a little bit more flustered than its counterpart on the other side of Jinxie. Is that everything, Zed?
That it will be my turn, yes.
Okay, Cambrio, let's see it. Back to
Okay,
the
so I'm
top.
going to kind of be recoiling a little bit from just taking that damage. And I'm just going to kind of call out to the squad, the team. I haven't even introduced myself to anyone yet, like in terms of getting their names or anything. So I'm just kind of like,
By the way, I'm
God,
Cambrio.
don't tell you that yet. I love you on stage, Elephant Man. And so then I'm just going to go, if you've got anything other than sticks or stones, anything with just a little extra arcane kick to it, that's going to really help out here. And I'm just launching back into it with both daggers.
Amazing. Go for it with
Going
advantage.
for it. Ooh, with advantage though. First one's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
hit.
Search for the other one first before you roll damage. Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, it's only the first attacks though. So, 8 damage there. Also doing this.
You adding sneak to
I'm
it?
gonna just do the other blade first, and then I'll do sneak after.
Okay.
Bonus action. So, first hand hits, second hand going after it.
Yep.
Oh, it's another 24. Let's see if you get a 20.
Do you want to
I
search
am.
for that 20?
It's already coming. Big 20, big 20, big 20. Venti. Come on, baby. No. Maybe a 23. Still gonna do.
The second one carves in, yeah.
Again, going for that kind of up top first one, down low second one. It's gonna be an additional 6 damage psychic.
Okay.
And then sneak attack. Additional 4 damage on top of that. So 8, 6, 4. So 18. And then half the sneak attack damage.
And then halved. Yeah, I forgot to have that, so... Okay, he looks very much worse for wear. He is calling on death's doorstep. You don't know much about gargoyle anatomy, but you certainly know that this one is not long for this world. That is down to Jinxie. Mr. Bear, what are you doing?
Only options for the bear: bite and a claw.
You could also spend your bonus action to drop your form if you wanted to do that.
No, it's too valuable.
Okay.
I'd rather bite some rocks as a bear.
I feel that.
Bears are known for biting rocks.
They are big
rock
rock
biters.
biters. Okay, so +6 to this. That is a 16 on the.
Which one are you?
Sorry,
are
bite-
you doing
bite-
the
bite attack.
advantage one or the?
Oh, sorry, no. Oh my gosh, the one that's weak.
Okay, yeah. So roll for advantage, and then we'll see.
Yes.
Aren't they both flanked anyways?
Yes, but I didn't want to know.
10, so 15.
Unfortunately, a 16 hits for me. So go ahead and roll damage.
A little turnaround.
Does
Turn
it just
around.
hit?
It's a turning point,
1d8
perhaps.
4. So, first one is 10 damage.
Okay. Was that your claw or your bite?
That was the bite.
Okay. I'm letting you know this claw is very much going to finish him off if he can hit.
Okay.
Oh, no
Come
pressure.
on.
Plus 6.
Looking at our first kill cam with the pod.
Guessing that hits.
Is it 16?
22. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, roll damage. I will be
Fuck yeah.
very, very surprised if you don't get this.
Okay.
it's got to be at 2.
2d6.
It's literally just don't roll a 2.
7, I think.
3?
No, 9.
Josh.
9. Sorry.
Explain to me what this kill cam looks like.
Yeah.
So, as this stupid bear just keeps biting and clawing at this rock man, he's just gonna, like, is it rocks or is it like just a statue?
He's made
Okay.
of statue, but he's somehow like moving and like fluid with his movements. So I've kind of pictured that instead of blood, each mark into him has been creating like rocks and brittle.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
So he's kind of like crumbling at this point.
I'm gonna say Jinxie as a bear, and the last claw blow just smacks his head, and it just turns to like dust.
Fucking
Yeah,
sick.
nice, good
Wicked.
job.
That's so sweet.
Cambrio's just right behind him, just kind of just getting splattered in debris, and then just opens his eyes to see this bear just fucking gnawing on stone.
Incredible.
Sharpening
Pretty yellow. Way to go, Fobo.
Is that your turn, Jinxie? Or are you moving?
Yeah, Jinxie's done.
Okay, I'm now for sure going to remove the square because it's not affecting anything
Okay.
anymore. Okay,
You love the square.
it's back to the last gargoyle here, and C.H.O.D.E, I suppose that you've actually done more damage to it. So yeah, it's going to turn and attack you, but because of its vicious mockery, it has to do so at disadvantage. If I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I got a 3 and a 5, so it doesn't really matter. I miss.
Oh, yeah.
But that's only for the first attack, I should say. The second one,
No.
yeah, no, I don't hit with either of them. So the gargoyle kind of just it's being flanked. It remembered that you said it was a loser a couple seconds earlier. It's just having a bad day. It just saw its brother get kind of imploded. That's just kind of a rough shot. Actually, it is at this point, because it's been a few seconds, that since Jinxie has crumbled the first gargoyle, kind of as it crumbled, it reappeared on the roof, like uncrumbling and back to its statue form.
Gotcha. I was going to ask
cool.
about that.
Unlimited
Yeah, it's
gargoyles?
also great,
Oh my god.
It's a pretty cool feature.
This is...
And that is everything that the gargoyle can do. No, you know what? That's not true. He's going to use its movement. It's going to provoke 2 attacks of opportunity from you two, but he's going to try and land beside Zed back here. So with advantage, both C.H.O.D.E and Jinxie, if you want to take swipes as he flies away, unless you've already taken your reaction this turn.
I have not.
No, mine was before last go. So
Yeah, you've taken your turn since. Yeah, you
So-
guys both have them if you guys want to roll with advantage.
absolutely.
As a bear, Josh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a bear, would it just be 1 attack?
It's 1 attack, but you can choose which one you want it to be.
11. No,
Okay, 11 misses, but
sorry,
I think
13. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that misses still. The 17 showed does hit.
Okay.
So you can roll damage on that.
8.
Okay, yeah, so you certainly swipe at kind of its back wing as it's flying away, and you chip a small piece off the bottom, but he doesn't seem to notice. Instead, he lands behind you as his big claws kind of grind into the cobblestone beneath. And it is C.H.O.D.E's turn now.
Sweet. I'm going to yell at him again and be like, hey, the fuck did I just say? Get back here. We're going to finish this. And I'm going to move up to like right beside him. I can't get into flanking position. He's too far
so
away,
scary.
but I will get up
Okay.
next to...
Was that a vicious mockery that you just did?
Clearly.
No, I'll use that as my bonus action to yell out at him, but I'm going to actually
that's fine.
get
I
up.
was just curious if we were doing that.
No,
Okay,
I'm
so
not.
yeah, if you want to, like, you're going like here, say?
Yeah, I think that's 30.
Okay.
So I'll
Yeah,
get right
perfect.
there.
If you want to take your swipe with your sword, by all
Yeah.
means, or you can do something else.
I will for sure be great swording this motherfucker. Not great though, only 10.
Regular sword.
Yeah, that is a miss, unfortunately.
I am.
That
however,
brings us down to
hold
Zed
on,
himself.
hold on.
Sorry.
I'm going to action surge.
Ooh.
One of the bolts that holds my jaw together does. I'll like twist it tighter,
Oh,
and
sick.
it like pushes in something into my like gear system to send me into overdrive.
That's incredible.
All right, let's roll again then. That'll do it. 19.
19 certainly hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And then 10 damage.
Okay, nice 5 damage with that damage resistance. Is that everything for your turn, my friend?
That will be it. That's all I got.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, the level 3 fighter doesn't, or level 2 fighter doesn't have a multi-attack yet, I guess. Okay, Zed, that brings us to you, my friend.
All right. I will leave AoE placement to you. Does that make sense, or do you want me to put stuff on the VTT?
No, that's fine. What are you
I'm
doing
looking
first?
for a 15-foot cone. I'm hoping I can angle myself if I need to move laterally to squeeze out C.H.O.D.E, but I'm going
that's fine.
to cast Burning Hands in an attempt to not hit C.H.O.D.E.
Sure. Give me just a second here.
If I recall correctly, it's basically one square straight ahead of you, and then after
Yeah.
you go that, it starts swinging out wider.
Not worried about the. You're not going to hit C.H.O.D.E here. I just want to know if it's a ranged spell attack. Being that close, you have to make it at a disadvantage.
It is self. Is the range?
I think it's only got a range.
Yeah.
Of like a
The
foot.
cone
Yeah,
goes
It's a
15
15-foot
feet,
cone.
but
So yeah,
it's
you were
self.
good. Give that a roll. It's not a disadvantage. It's been a while since your boys DM, so
Yeah, it's all good, all good.
but yeah, go ahead. If you want to, here I will do.
It's been a while since Wilson did something other than shoot a bow.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, easy there.
And
Extended
sharpshooter
universe.
and sneak attack and
I haven't
sharpshooter.
played
and-
that kind of character in a while.
Hold on.
It's been a while. It's been a
It's been a
while.
while.
Josh, we don't have the rights.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's a critical roll rip right there.
It will be a dex save. The gargoyle.
Yes, it will be, and I don't think they have great dex. No, it is a +0 for their dex. What am I trying to meet or beat, my
14
friends?
is the mark.
Dex dummies.
Ooh, I got a 12, so he failed.
Alright.
Let's go for it. What's the damage on that?
3d6.
Okay.
Call that
let's see
12
going.
damage.
Good stuff.
And right after that, I will use my bonus action, Tempestuous Magic. Kind of shoot after blasting fire out of my hands. I'll return them down to my sides, and almost like a force of air, I'm going to launch myself into the air, flying 10 feet backwards.
Cool.
Away and not provoking an attack of opportunity.
Great stuff, buddy. I like that move. What's, just for the listeners at home, what was that called again?
Tempestuous Magic.
Excellent. I like that. Okay, if that's everything for your turn, that's going to bring us back to Cambrio Voss.
That it is.
So as he's flitting backwards, Cambrio is just already on the move after the first one went down from the bear, and he's if the gargoyle's looking up as Wilson's kind of flying away, as Zed's flying away, Cambrio's like running and sort of sliding up underneath.
Cool.
New daggers in the hands, and he's just coming right up into it with both hands.
Kind of like lower abdomen, like stabbing.
Yeah, like he's doing the apex slide in and then like meleeing up.
Very cool. Okay, let's see some rolls there, big guy.
They're coming once the screen clears. Attack. 21 on the first one.
That is a hit, my friend.
I would say there's no more advantage, I think, right?
Correct.
Okay. So then we'll just get that going. D6 plus 4. All right, so first one's 7 psychic damage. Second blade's coming up in with the bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
That's only going to be a 10. And there's no advantage of
That is a miss. My
However,
friend.
I did hit on the first one, and so I'm still able to kind of sneak attack.
Sure.
I'm just going to, like, literally, as the knives are coming up, my foot just, like, snaps out and tries to, like, break its ankle.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Sweet.
That's just a 2. I kicked a rock.
That's okay. Yeah, it certainly hurt your foot.
Oh, my foot.
Okay, is that your turn, my friend?
That is my turn.
Great job. Jinxie, let's see it. Still a bear.
Still a bear. Jinxie. What's the distance here?
You do have 40 feet as a
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah, so I am just dumb bear rage. He's just gonna run up and triple flank
Sure, okay, not
And-
a thing, but yes.
and try the same thing again.
Okay, with advantage because this is now technically a flank, go ahead and roll.
Okay. Triple flank.
And this is for your claws or your bite?
This is for the bite. So +6. What did I roll there?
7 and a 3. I think +6 on both of those would be a 13 and a 9. You miss.
So I missed that one. And then I'll try the claws.
Oh, you hitting.
So
Yeah, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll your claw damage, my friend.
13 damage.
Nice.
So just another, big claw swipe of the paw.
Very nice.
That's
Okay,
good.
perfect. Yeah, so you
That's it.
absolutely claw into this gargoyle. Again, not doing as much as you may think, but certainly carving some chunks of rock out of this guy. He's looking weak. He's looking frail. And as it is his turn, he is going to kind of use his last gasp effort to Cambrio. I need you to make a opposed strength check against this gargoyle as he tries to grapple you.
Oh boy.
So that's 17. But did it
Okay.
work or no?
With my 8, yeah,
Okay,
no, it
so
did
no,
not
I
work.
did my pass because I also have a
Sure.
psychic thing that lets me add bonuses to some checks. But if I don't have to use it, I won't.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he was going to try and fly and kind of drop you from up top, but he was not able to grab you, and that was his action. So unfortunately, he doesn't have.
I keep
His
this
move
duster
anymore.
greasy. Okay, guys, gotta stay slick.
C.H.O.D.E, with advantage, now that you have a flanking partner in Jinxie, what do you want to do?
Oh, I'm gonna frick him up. And it's
They didn't install
Get
squares. And,
yeah.
get frigged.
He's a
Yeah,
child
sure,
party
drop
bot.
the F-bomb.
He's used for kids parties.
That's right. He's got PG-13.
He's got like
I've
parent
been
block
built for
on.
2 things.
We're disabling
Yeah.
I've been built for 2 things: war and children's
War and bar
birthday
mitzvahs.
parties. That's it. Yeah.
War and singing the song War.
Natural 20.
That's 3 to.
Ooh, not a natural 20, but a dirty 20. Good
Oh,
God.
sorry.
Excited.
Yeah,
That's my bad.
that's okay.
It,
Uh,
it looked like
with
it landed on the B on my screen, so that's
With advantage, though, so you get to try again.
yeah. Come on, game. You owe me a B. No, definitely not the second time. So
No,
20.
that's
30,
okay. Hey,
30,
it's
20.
it's still a hit, my friend. You
Yeah.
still get to roll damage.
8.
Incroyable. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this gargoyle is looking pretty fucked up. Not dead yet, but like certainly like the cracking of the rocks, and he's moving a little bit slower, and he's looking a little bit defeated, but he's not going out without a fight. Is that your turn, C.H.O.D.E?
Yeah, that I will end there.
Perfect.
Oh,
Zed, let's see if
actually-
you can finish this guy off. Oh,
Actually, hold on.
actually.
I am going to move up, so I'm in a flanking position with Cambrio.
Okay.
Okay, very smart. Dancing the dance.
Hmm.
Perfect. Okay, Zed, it's your turn. He's looking pretty frail, so this might be it for
Okay.
him.
Ew.
Noticing the little change in positioning by Chrome, it gives Zed a much better position to come in, as he doesn't like blasting any of his
Mhm.
newfound friends with fire. And I will cast Firebolt.
Lovely.
Dope.
+6 to hit on a nat 20.
Hey,
That'll
there it is.
do.
Wow.
I was early.
Very nice.
It was the next.
Back to back.
That's
That's big, dude. Hey, let's.
That's going to be
Let's hear it.
2d10. Okay, one of them fell. One's a 6. The other's a 4. That'll be 10 damage.
10 fire damage.
Fire damage.
Zed, as you crush this fireball Hadouken into this gargoyle's chest, he dissipates. Is there anything else that you would like to add to the Kokam as he now reappears up on the roof in his statue form?
No, I think you described it just absolutely wonderfully there, Mr. DM.
Captured it well.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. So as you deal the killing blow to this gargoyle, and you're kind of all looking around like, was that everything? And the rest of you are kind of panting a little bit just from running around for the last, 30 seconds of combat. You can see a jovial John Erasmus kind of clapping. Oh, that was just lovely. I've completely lost his voice. That was just lovely. Oh my goodness! What? Look at the teamwork, and you're a bear. And he looks at Jinxie.
Oh!
And he's like, and you with your little jokes that made the gargoyle think. And he's kind of pointing at you, C.H.O.D.E. Just dastardly lovely. And Zed, what wonderful work with that final blow. I just loved it. Everybody happy? Everybody healthy? Everybody have a good time?
Would Jinxie realize the gargoyles appeared back on the roof?
I feel. I mean, it depends if you were paying attention or what your intelligence.
I only
is.
have an intelligence of 2 as a bear.
Well, here's the fun thing, Josh. Is that
it carries
aggressively retain your
trying to get up the
mental.
roof.
You're right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I love the RP aspect, but no, you retain your mental acuity when you have wild shaped.
So Cambrio was pretty
Stinky
puffed
bear.
up there because he thought he had done pretty well with the fight, with doing all the psychic damage, and then Mr. Erasmus just blatantly left him out of the congratulations at the end. So I'm just gonna deflate a little bit and just kind of go over and pick up my crossbow that I dropped earlier and sort of just make sure it's reloaded. I'm gonna put one of my special bolts in there just for later, just for fun. Just in case I need to go be sad somewhere specific, but yeah. Then I'm just gonna kind of trudge back over.
I'll walk over and I'll pat Cambrio on the back and be like, I know he didn't say anything, but the psychic damage was very nice.
Thank you. It's it doesn't leave a mark, so not a lot of people know it's there, but it's there. Psychic scars cut deep.
Oh, I know. I also did psychic damage. So,
Wow, that hurts me a little bit.
Yeah.
Zed extends his hand towards Cambrio, kind of at the crossbow you just picked up.
Mhm.
May I?
If you want, I kind of do a cool little. You guys ever seen Tombstone? Little trigger dance, and then I just end up holding out trigger first.
and I'll just kind of grab it.
Zed fire.
Take a look, kind of examine it, kind of. One crossbow user to the next, kind of just seeing, oh, like neat. Use one of these too. Like, what are you working with? So I am gonna kind of throw a nice little investigation check if you don't mind.
Please.
I would like to see if I notice anything. I'm not overtly asking, to be honest. I'm just kind of taking note as I look. A 5. Apparently, I don't know much about crossbows.
Well, yeah. What I would say is that you definitely notice that there is a special bolt that's equipped and ready to be fired in this crossbow, but you have no idea.
Did you see the special bolt? Kieran was very excited to show off his crossbow. He just wanted someone to pay attention to him. So
yeah. What's
it's attached to
this?
a rope. And then I'm just gonna take it back from him. Aim up at the gargoyles within. I think it was. What's my range? Was it 60 feet? Was the range on it, Bulls? Where I'm not just taking a guess. 30 feet was the range. 30 up to 120.
Yeah, it's 30.
How much to get to the roof?
Are we talking about the special bolt that we're talking about? I'll make it a DC 10 athletics check or acrobatics check.
Okay.
Up to you.
That's going to be a 25.
Holy
Nice.
shit. Cambrio, I will allow you to describe how you do this up to
So-
the roof. And what you've just pulled
So
out.
Cambrio takes the crossbow back and then kind of just really quickly just like pulls it in the air and fires. Like doesn't even really look like his aim. It's a bit surprising. And then it appears to be leaving kind of like a thin silken cord behind it. And then as the bolt gets up, you see, if you can kind of see that far up, little prongs as it kind of impacts around the statues and kind of just gets itself tangled up. And then swiftly, Cambrio just kind of hustles up the rope, and then it's just kind of sitting up there looking at the gargoyle statues. Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker has a Batman.
It's a grapple gun.
Yeah, just mark down one of
Really
those
cool.
ammo things, Scott.
I can
Special
just,
blows.
pick it up.
Yeah, that's fine because you only have 2. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
2 and 30. Jinxie's gonna come out of wild shape now
I'm
that
going to
we're
clamber back down.
Okay. Yeah. Out of wild shape into still a wild.
No
shape.
one's noticed the transformation because there's still
Do
just a large
another
animal
wild
in the
shape.
room.
Yeah.
We're not going to acknowledge the
Yeah,
elephant
exactly.
in the room.
as smelly.
Yeah, so at that point, kind of, John is still kind of clapping his hands. Oh, amazing! I mean, you guys, you just bring a wonderful, warm feeling to my heart. And he then, you know what? I suppose then he says, I suppose I should know what your names are. Perhaps we should go around. Again, my name is John Erasmus IV. And you? And he looks at the robot.
The name is C.H.O.D.E. It stands for, and then you hear like my like kind of like perk up as like a robot to like give the actual name. It's like grammatic, humanoid, organic, destroying entity. But yous can call me C.H.O.D.E. because you're going to be paying me. So
C.H.O.D.E, lovely. Yes, wide and thick. And you,
not the only thing.
Mr. Woolly Man.
Well, Mr. Simple John, my name is Jinxie. I'm not sure what Jinxie stands for, but it was the herd name they gave it to me.
Okay. Yes, that's actually what John says. Okay. Says, and he looks up at you, and he says, "And you, ghost man up there with your knives."
Pull my ghost knives out. Yeah, ghost knives.
Won't you come down? Won't you come down
Okay.
and join us, Mr. Mystery Man? What's your
I
name?
call down to it. I'm Cambrio Voss, Prince of Rooftops, and I'm going to try to clamber down. I don't know if you want to make me another check.
No, I don't, but I want everybody to, in their mind theater, picture that it takes you like 45 actual seconds of like huffing and puffing and like
Get
climbing
down, and
your
I'm
way
trying to
down
now
and just,
wind
like,
the
so
little
there-
freaking like bolt back together. I have to
it's
put
like
like
a
30
fishing
feet
line.
of fishing line back in this little thing to like wind the springs back down.
Yeah. Yeah, just a sec. Just a sec. Just
You guys
give me
go
a
ahead.
second.
You guys, I'm Cambrio.
minute.
Just finish.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
You're making just
So
like
it's-
dad grunts as you're climbing down the thing. Like he's
Yeah.
And then he gives you a knowing glare, Zed, and he says, "And you."
Zed, yes. I'm Zed.
Lovely. Well, it appears that you've passed my entrance exam with flying colors. Won't you join me inside? And he kind of walks into his
I'm
estate.
gonna, as an action, attempt to. I'm gonna look at the elephant. I'm gonna look at the robot. I'm gonna go. Trust me on this, and I'm gonna use psychic whispers. So now we can telepathically communicate. And I go, don't tell the other one. I can only do 3, so I'm not holding any fingers up, or I'm just kind of holding my fingers up in front of my face without talking. But this is, I think this is gonna go pretty well. But apparently, we're signing a contract as soon as we enter this door. So, just Cambrio likes to have a backup. So, just in case, boys.
So Zed would have kind of caught
Interesting.
stride with John on his way in. Kind of put an arm
Sure.
on his shoulder and kind of quietly like, I told you need to make these things harder.
Would
Wow.
my elephant ears be able to hear that?
I would say, I mean, it depends. Wills, would you have tried to make that?
It would have been as quiet as
Unhearable?
possible that John could hear me.
Yeah, I
standing
would say
right
no,
beside me.
Jinxie. It's because if you guys are still there,
I'm
there's still probably
speaking in
40
your
feet
mind.
before the. Yeah, you would be too busy. So I would say, so you do that, and John says, "Well, I know, but uh, you, the last few that you've done haven't been as rompous as this one. I tried to add a little bit of danger with this one. 2 gargoyles this time, Zed. 2.
Yeah, but I mean, no one barely got a scratch.
And then that's kind of as you guys crest into the doorway. Do the other 3 of you in the courtyard follow, or are you still having your mind combo?
Mind combo is just kind of passive there in the background if we want it. We're just now linked for the next.
Yep.
I gotta roll D4 quick.
Oh, so
I
I
was
can now
just gonna-
communicate
We are
with you,
telepathically
mind?
linked, the
Or
three
is
of
it
us.
just coming
the
from
three
you,
of us,
Scott?
for the next 4 hours.
For 4 years, yeah.
Zed doesn't know, but if
That's
he
the
did
real
know,
contract.
he'd be offended to be excluded. You guys are jerks.
Yeah. Okay. Do the rest of you crest the doorway, or
Oh yeah.
are more
Ooh,
conversations needed to be had?
I will say, in our heads, I would have been like, if we're doing this together, like all for one.
What do you eat?
If any of you's chicken
I'm
out,
just
I'll
asking
kill
you
you.
a bunch of questions in my head. They're not even like supposed to be asked. It's just like I can't stop thinking about them, and now we're linked. So it's like, does he
For the next
shit?
4 hours.
Is it? What's it like? How is he? What am I talking to right now? Does he have a brain? It's just.
I'm gonna like slowly turn to you and be like, not in my head, in person, just go, would you shut the fuck up?
I've just been like sitting in the back like a schizophrenic
just,
person,
like,
just like muttering to himself.
Yeah.
Just, oh yeah,
And then I'll
sure,
walk
man.
in.
Yeah, whatever you say,
Just
or whatever you.
oh.
Perfect. Yeah, so the rest of you walk in.
Yep.
Perfect. So as you do, it's kind of like you would feel a little bit, but there is certainly a feeling like when you crest through the doorway of like a barrier that you've walked through, almost like picture like a TSA kind of X-ray. Like you don't feel anything, but you know when you're walking through it. You certainly just did that here, and that is actually where we're going to end episode 1, fellas. We're going to pick up from inside John's estate.
You guys feel
next
that?
time.
Felt like a barrier.
Man.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our podcast, please rate and review 5 stars for the 5 stars of the show. A special thanks to Matthew for designing our map and to Isabel for creating our art. You can find their work on Instagram at Matthews_makings and at Laco Miles, LACOMYLES. Thanks as well to Drew Hewitt and Arcane Anthems for doing our theme and background music. For music you too can use, visit patreon.com/arcaneanthems to add the perfect theme to your home game. You can follow more Eldritch Buds news on Instagram at Eldritch Buds or on our subreddit at r/Eldritch Buddies.